and Happy New Year, because this video will be released on December 31st, or, well, if you guys live in a different country, January 1st. But regardless, Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Decade. You already know this stuff. But since I do have Navia fully built, and I do have every single thing that I can get to get a showcase on, it is time to do, well, the showcase on her. So, Navia just recently released, and I just really want to push a video out for Navia. So yeah, well, here it is. So, this video, we are going to be featuring Navia in a lot of things and give her the grand tour. This is the Navia showcase, and, well, to start things off, I'm going to be showing my Navia build, so let's just cut to that. Alright, so here we are with my Navia build. So yes, since she is pretty brand new as the time I'm recording this video, of course I don't have her artifact set, so I have to go for the second best thing, which I will be showcasing in a moment. But first off, I have to showcase her stats, her weapon, her artifacts, her constellations, and her talents. So let's just get on with it. So these are her stats right here. She has 2,000 attack. That is without any team buffs. She has 59.7% crit rate, 248% crit damage, and then for geo damage we have 61%. You'll see soon enough why she is at those stats. But her weapon right here is the Verdict. This is her best weapon. Her free-to-play weapon is the stick that we'll get in the event upcoming in this version. So that is probably going to be her best free-to-play weapon, but Verdict is her best weapon currently, so you can just run this instead. Her artifact set. Well, remember when I said that the artifact set is new and I'm still farming it? So this is the artifact set I have on her, which is 4-piece Archiac and 4-piece Shiminawas. This is her best free-to-play set, or her best secondary set in general. If you want to run her on a Furina team, then you can run 4-piece Hunters. 4-piece Hunters is her best set on a Furina team. But if you are running a Hypercarry Navia, which is what I'm doing right here, then this is her best set if you're still farming for her other artifact set. So 2-piece Archiac, 2-piece Shiminawas. So that is the artifact set I am running on her. As for constellations, I have her at C0. She doesn't need constellations to be good. Because, well, her C1 just decreases the cooldown of her burst, I think. Yeah, her burst. Her C2 just increases the crit rate on her E. And also, she gets one more cannon fire on her Q. So yeah, that's basically it. If you want her to consistently crit more, then I guess you can get her C2. But since I don't really need that, I could just have her C0 and she performs really well anyway. So yeah. And as for talents, I have 686. This is probably going to be level 9 as soon as reset happens, which is basically on Monday for me. So when Monday hits, I can just get this to level 9. But yeah, you know how weekly bosses go. You can only farm them once a week. So yeah. Well, there is my Navia build, as you see there. She is really well built, despite me slapping on artifacts that I just happen to have. So yeah. But, yeah, well, anyways, it's time to actually showcase her in a bunch of teams. There's actually, quite a well-diverse, set of teams that Navia can be run on, so I am gonna be showcasing those. So, anyways, I'm gonna be cutting to Spiral Abyss, so, yeah. Well, I'll see you guys there. Alright, so here we are in Spiral Abyss. The reason why I now showcase, me being outside of Spiral Abyss and showcasing my roster it's because I want to show that I don't have every character in the game, so I can't showcase every team in the game. So yeah, keep that in mind while I am basically showcasing. So yeah. So as you see here is my roster. You'll notice that there is no Nouvelette. So that means that I can't run a main DPS Nouvelette team with Navia as the sub. Because Navia can also be run as a sub, not just a Hypercarry. So yeah, that's the only reason why I want to showcase that I don't have Nouvelette, so I can't showcase how good they synergize together. So yeah. But anyways, speaking of Hypercarry, we're going to be showcasing that first. The reason why I'm going to be showcasing it on floor 11 is because there's only one shield enemy, and in floor 12 there is a Pyro Abyss Mage, and a Lecter, and that is bad. So yeah, in order to showcase her at her max potential, we're probably just going to be doing it on floor 11. So yeah. So, the first team I want to be showcasing is probably going to be her most popular team, which is double Geo, double Pyro. So yeah, so Navia, Zhongli, or Albedo, you can basically swap them. Zhongling, and then Bennett. So yeah. So Bennett will basically give the attack boost. Zhongling will basically give her attack boost on Global Pepper. Zhongli with Millilith basically gives Navia attack when she uses her elemental skill. And Navia is just self-explanatory. She's just the main carry. So yeah. But that is basically the team's lineup in a nutshell. It's mainly to buff Navia's attack so that she can wreak havoc. So yeah, we're going to be showcasing that in action. So we're just going to be doing this. We're going to be getting a ton of crystallized reactions. So yeah, the more crystallized reactions you get, the higher her damage becomes, because the more shields you get, the higher your bonuses. So yeah, as you see here, I have 6 stacks, so I can just pop it. There we go. 61k without crit. I did test this before. She is able to do a lot of damage. As you'll see here, there's a shield up there, so we can just use it on the Whopper Flower. There you go. Yeah, see, around 200k damage. Yeah, so if you build your Navia properly, she's able to output numbers like that. Also, her Q will basically give her more shrapnel stacks, so you're able to do damage like that. Yeah, 60k. That's, by the way, with the shield up on the enemies. So yeah, the only reason why I'm doing it on a monolith floor is because I can take my time on it, which is really nice. Alright. I can just deal damage right here. Okay, I think I'm gonna be getting her my max stack soon, so I can just use it on the Pyro slime. There we go. 186k. That is without Bennett buff, by the way. Yeah, Navia is a one-shot wonder. She just does way too much damage. So we're gonna be doing this one more time. We're gonna be aiming. Kablam! 100k. Yeah, easy damage. And it's all tied to her skill, not her burst. So that is really, really nice. So yeah, you could just basically do E and then pop a Q and then do another E. Yeah, Navia is insane. Extremely good damage. She is extremely, extremely busted. So busted. Yeah, so good. Well, anyways, it's time to move on to her next team. Probably her most second used team is probably going to be Navia National. So I'm going to be showcasing that. Well, anyways, it's time to cut to the next team. Alright, so here we are with Navia National. I know Yelan is not part of the national team, but literally Xingqiu and Yelan do literally the same thing. They use their Q and they do damage. That's basically it. They literally have the same kit. But they are interchangeable, so you could just swap Yelan for Xingqiu, you could swap Xingqiu for Yelan. But the reason why I don't put Xingqiu in this team is because I'm going to be showcasing him in the next team anyway, which is just a mixed elemental comp, aka just a Navia Hypercarry team. So yeah. Well, anyways, it's time to showcase this national team in action. So this combos really well with Navia, because when you use her E, as you see here, your attacks will become Geo. And since it combos well with normal attacks, you basically, as you see there, create more crystallized reactions, meaning that you can pop the E, and then get a ton of stacks in. It is really, really good. Zhongling and Yelan or Xingqiu combo really well with each other, as you see here. We're going to be getting, okay, that's 3 stacks. Kablam! That is not a crit, but it is 45k damage. Still really good without a crit. Alright. Let's do QQ. You can pop E. There we go. 150k. Casual 150k. Alright. Kablam! 73k. Yeah, as you see here, she combos really well and creates her own crystallized reactions. It is a really... She's a really, really good character. I think I'm gonna get my max stacks right here. Right here. There we go. Yeah, 170k. Yikes! She's really good. She is really, really good. But her numbers can be a bit higher if you properly set it up, of course, but For me, I just randomly just use skills. But yeah, there's Navia's damage right there. Really, really good, as you see there. So her main gimmick is just to create crystallized reactions. The more crystallized reactions you get, and the more shards you pick up, the higher your damage becomes. You can also hold down the E to basically collect the shards around you. Or you can run around like I do, but mainly you want to hold down her E so you can basically gather up all the crystallized shards. So yeah. But anyways, now it's time to move on to the next team, which is probably just going to be your generic, typical Hyperbloom, not Hyperbloom, but Hypercarry Navia team. So I'll see you guys in the next team. Alright, so here we are with a, well, Navia Hypercarry team. I can finally dust off these two characters, which are Albedo and Fischl, because I never, ever used them. Ever. So, this will be a perfect chance for me to showcase them in action and create crystallized reactions. Since Fischl is at C6, she's able to create more, 139k. But, since Fischl is basically at C6, each normal attack that I do will basically, give Fischl, basically creating me more shards, as you see there. Basically consistent 140ks right there. I think I got my E back. Okay, that's for 3 stacks. That is 80k, I think. Alright, let's get rid of the shield right there. Alright. Kablam! Just big numbers in general. Holy crap. Alright. Bam! Yeah, no. Navia on any team is just way too good. I mean, you saw the damage, right? You're able to see how much damage she can do and how much, like, all her teammates can synergize with each other. So yeah. Well, there is 3 Navia Hypercarry teams. You can use them, see them fit. You could basically interchange and swap all the characters, but in the end, Navia is just there to create crystallized reactions so that you can get more damage off your E. So yeah, that is basically it. Well, anyways, now it's time to move on to the Furina team. So yeah, Navia with Furina. Well, we're going to be cutting to one of the first Navia Furina teams, so here we go. Alright, so here we have a Navia Furina team, aka Shatter. Yes, because we have Charlotte in here. We can basically freeze the enemies, and then the geo damage just does the rest of the work. So yeah. One thing to keep in mind is that if you are going to be running Navia on a Furina team, Hunters is her best set. Do not run the set attack percent and geo damage. Her best set is Hunters on Furina. So if you are strictly running Navia on a Furina team, then run Hunters. But if you are using Navia as a hyper carry, then you don't have to run Hunters, which is basically what I am doing right here. But yeah, just keep in mind that Hunters is her best set if you are running her on Furina teams. So here we go. So I'm gonna be setting up the buff here so that Navia is able to deal a bunch of damage. Alright, we're gonna be using E and then Q. We can create a ton of bullets, get a ton of shrapnel stacks. Okay, we got 3 right here. Bam! 182k with Furina buff, by the way. Yeah, Furina is really busted with anyone on, like, the game. She just buffs damage up the wazoo. Yeah, she's just way too good. Alright, we're using her Q right here. Get some more shrapnel stacks. I'm gonna be holding her E. Kablam! Yeah, so good. She's just so good. Yeah, Navia Furina, deadly combo, as you see there. 182k, by the way, on her E with, I think, max shrapnel stacks. So yeah, that is without double pyro resonance, by the way. So yeah, keep that in mind. Well, anyways, now it's time to move on to another Navia Furina team. So I'll just cut to that. Alright, so here we are with, well, another Navia Furina team, as you see here. It's basically the same concept, except that this is a double Geo Resonance Navia. So she's able to get the shield bonus buff and as well as more Geo damage because of the shields. So yeah. Well, anyways, it's time to showcase this. So let's put the Albedo E down and create some crystallized reactions. Mika's just here for the heals mainly, and because he's able to create freeze reactions. 197! That is with 5 stacks, by the way. 5 stacks of her crystallized reactions. She's just way too busted. She is extremely busted. Alright, we're gonna be healing here. So that we can get alright, let's aim. Shoot 170k. That is not without, or that's basically her not at point blank. At point blank, she's able to do more damage. So yeah, if you want to land the maximum amount of damage on Navia, you want to basically use it point blank, like right here, if he's able to pop up. Yeah, there you go. See, 200k. You have to do it point blank. You can't do it in a distance. So yeah, keep that in mind. So there is Navia in a Navia Furina team. Now, Navia, as I mentioned way earlier, she's able to be run as a sub DPS. Yes, you can actually run her as a sub DPS. So I am going to be showcasing that as well. So here it is. Navia in a sub DPS team. Let's just cut to that. Alright, so here we are with a mixed elemental comp. So yeah, this is just Navia as a sub DPS. I'll just call it the Navia sub DPS team. But yeah, this is just a mixed elemental comp of 4 random elements. So yeah. But basically, the main gimmick on Navia is that she does high damage on her elemental skill. But that's pretty much it on her sub DPS capabilities. Of course, you could just use her Q as well. But her Q is mainly just there to, well, give her shrapnel stacks. And, well, because of that, you probably want to run 4-piece Golden Troop as a sub DPS set on Navia. That's only if you want to run Navia as a sub DPS. If you want to run her as a Hypercarry, or if you want to run her on a Furina team, again, just use the proper sets on her. But for sub DPS Navia, obviously Golden Troop will be her best set. So yeah, but without any further ado, let's just showcase her right now. So we're going to be spamming a bunch of skills right here, so we can get ready. Alright, going to be using her Q right here. We're going to be passively getting our shrapnel stacks right here, which is right now. Let's gather all those up. Kablam, 70k. That's not bad, especially since Navia is not run on any buffs, because this is a mixed elemental comp with just 4 elements. But yeah, let's see here. The damage is extremely good. I think Navia will be at almost her max stacks. Yeah, there we go. 126k. We're going to be doing a couple normal attacks here just to give her some shrapnel stacks to support Ayato. Alright, I gotta recast EA Miko's E. Alright, I think we'll be at max stacks now. 75k, that is extremely good damage right there. Alright, let's get some more shrapnel stacks. I think, yeah, okay, we have one more enemy left we can test out on. Alright, let's use this. Let's do Ayato buff. Kablam! There we go. Yeah, Navia can work well as a sub DPS, but her only gimmick is that she just does extremely high damage because of her damage scaling off her elemental skills. So yeah, that's basically the main reason why you want to run Navia on a sub DPS team. It's because Navia's elemental skill just does way too much damage for its own good. But yeah. Well, anyways, it's time to move on to the next team. So let's cut to that. Alright, so here we have another Navia sub DPS team, and that's Hu Tao Double Geo. Yes, it got revived, so you don't have to run Albedo anymore. You can run Navia if you want. So yeah, we're gonna be using Navia's Q right here just to get some stacks in. I don't think Hu Tao could damage any of the slimes, so we'll just have her attack like the crabs and stuff. But yeah, Navia is just here again to bam, elemental skill, and then do normal attacks, a couple normal attacks, do another elemental skill, and then get her burst again to get more shrapnel stacks. Alright. Let's do Hu Tao elemental skill now and deal a bunch of damage. But yeah, Navia is just here to basically deal as much damage as she can. I think she's at max stacks now. We can just... There we go. Easy. But yeah, you already saw it multiple times. Navia's elemental skill is just way too busted for its own good. So yeah. Since Navia, I think I already showcased mostly all of her good teams, I can showcase at least one more weird wacky team before we get on to boss showcases. So yeah. Well, it's time to close this off with the final team in this segment. And what's a team without showcasing a soup team? Yes, this is Navia Soup, aka Kazuha Soup. But yeah, again, if you can create elemental reactions off of Geo, it's a good team regardless. So yeah, this is going to be creating a ton of shards for us because, well, enemies are going to be affected by the elements as you see here. Animal just basically helps us get more shrapnel stacks. Right here, bam! More damage. I'm going to be going for... Oops. Alright, we're going to be using her E just so that we can fire this off. Alright, I think we're going to get Kazuha Q. Yeah, there we go. Let's do Raiden so we can get our burst back. Easy bursts. Alright, there we go. Alright, we're going to be using her E. Kablam. That is without a crit, by the way. Alright. I think this will give us our max shrapnel stacks right here. Can it? I think it can. 45k. That's with 2 shrapnel stacks, I think. But yeah, as you see here, Navia's just way too good. Bam! She's just way broken. Holy crap. Alright, now it's actually time to showcase her in the big boy fights, aka the boss fights. So, without any further ado, let's just get on with it. We're gonna be showcasing her against, well, bosses. So, I'm gonna be showcasing her on, the, Erebus fight, aka the wolf fight. And then we could just transition to, probably the whale. Yeah, the whale in Fontaine. So yeah, let's just do those 2 fights. So let's just cut to, Erebus. Alright, so here we are where, Erebus resides. So let's just fight this guy and win. Well, I guess it's not Erebus, it's Andrius. But, you know what I mean. It's just the wolf boss. But, yeah. Well, anyways... We're going to be setting up for some crystallized reactions right here. We're going to be using her Q. And then I'm going to be holding down her E. I think this will give my max stacks right here. Yeah, there you go. 86. I don't think we're going to get the max stacks here. Yeah, nope. Okay. We're just going to be anticipating his moves now. There we go. By the way, the shrapnel stacks last for 300 seconds, aka a whole abyss run. So you can basically save it for later, which is very funny. Meaning that you could, if you do, finish a abyss, chamber fast enough, you can actually use it for the next, chamber, which is pretty funny. Okay, so he's in his second phase. Mainly, what I want to do here is get more crystallized reactions. Because Navia is not at max right now. She'll be almost at max, though, once I get one more stack in. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now she's at max, so let's set this up. And then let's hold it down. 300k! Holy crap! Yeah, no, Navia is broken as crap. Oh boy, yeah. Yeah, you saw the damage right there, right? Yeah, Navia is a GODBRELLA goddess. Yeah. Well, anyways, now it's time to actually go to the next boss before we showcase her max damage. So let's just go to the All-Devouring Narwhal. Alright, so here we are at the All-Devouring Narwhal domain. So we're just gonna be using a typical team right here. I will be swapping these out because, well, we already showcased them, right? So there's no reason to showcase them. We're gonna be doing a, well, let's do Furina, and then we can, use another character right here. Let's just go with, I guess, Kokomi? Yeah, I think that should be fine. Yeah, double Hydro, double Geo. We can just do that. Alright. Furina, is really combo heavy with Navia, so this should be a pretty good, showcase right here against the Narwhal. Alright, we're gonna be getting some premature damage right here. We need to heal ourselves because Furina gets, all her buffs, if she loses or gains HP. Okay. Might as well use it. Alright. I think he's about to come up. Oh yeah, he's about to come up here. Alright. A shotgun blast, 100k! Yeah, pretty casual damage right there. Okay, we're gonna be using her E right here. The only reason why I didn't use her E before is because, the Stalin members won't actually, attack really well. Yeah, as you see here, they're like barely making any crystallized reactions. Alright. Can we get him in time and deal damage? 36k. Okay. We're gonna be recasting this again. He should be at a point where he has to do the, his special orb attack, where he summons the orb. Is it right here? I think he's about to do it. Yeah, there it is. Kablam. And that counts. Okay, so now it's gonna be devouring us, and then we have to take down its other form. So yeah, here we go. Okay, let's set this up right here. Let's use a Kokomi burst so we can heal ourselves. Alright, let's use E right here. 164k. Again, if we defeat this guy, we basically get our burst back. So it doesn't really matter if we waste our bursts here, which is really cool. It means that we could showcase him even more. Yeah, there we go. Alright, I think we'll be very close to max stacks right here. We just have to basically get a ton of stacks right here. Okay, we have 1. We're going to be getting 2, okay. 3. I think that should be enough right here to attack. 278k with Furina buff active, by the way. So yeah. Holy crap! Navia is way too good. Yeah, definitely one of the Geo units of all time. Yeah, yeah, there's nothing more to be said. So now it's actually time to showcase her max damage output. Yes, the moment you've been waiting for. You thought 300k was a lot? Yeah, you're gonna see in a moment that she can output even higher numbers than that. So, well, in order for us to showcase how much damage she's able to do, we're gonna be fighting off Raiden Shogun. So yeah, well, anyways, here is Navia's max damage output. Alright, so here we are at the Raiden domain. So this is going to be the main team I'm gonna be running right here, which is a double Geo with 2 random elements. So yeah, double Geo because, well, in the resonance, you get Geo res decrease when you deal damage to enemies, which is really nice. We also have Zhongli here, who runs the Tenacity of the Millilith set, as you see here. So when an elemental skill attacks, all nearby party members will be increased by 20%, meaning that if I hit someone with Furina's, well, E, you basically get the 20% attack on Millilith. So yeah, pretty cool, right? It also increases more damage if you are protected by a shield, which is really cool too. So yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice. And here we have Furina, who is basically at C2, meaning that we can basically get accelerated fanfare. And also, we will be able to accelerate fanfare right here because she will be at 150. So she will be at 400 fanfare once all her cards start to show. We also have her at level 10 talent. So basically, we are going to be getting the max amount of damage bonuses right here, as you see here. And we have Bennett, of course, because he has, well, Skyward Blade, which is a high base attack sword. He has no Bleece, which is really good for Navia, because Navia scales off of attack. We also have him with C1 as well, so we can basically do not have the restriction on his C1. And we also have him at level 13 on his Q, meaning that we'll basically get the max amount of damage possible with Bennett. So yeah, this is going to be the team I'm going to be running. I am going to be popping off Navia's E once we get through the second phase of the fight, which is when Raiden puts up her shield. So yeah, that's going to be where we're going to be using most of our damage output on. So let's just get this started. So yeah, on the first half, I'm going to be messing around for a bit. Just so that I could while her HP down low enough so we can actually attack her properly. Alright, let's use Zhongli Q. And also, since this is the Raiden fight, we basically get our burst back as soon as the phase ends. So yeah, there's 150k right here. Again, we don't want to kill her. We don't want to actually kill her, because that would basically suck. So yeah, we're gonna be at least attacking her a bit by bit, as you'll see here. I'll be switching to Furina's healing mode now. Alright, let's do this. I think we're gonna be hit here. I hope not. Yeah, there we go. We basically stalled her long enough. Okay, she's at 3 stacks. I'm going to be healing with Furina, as you see here. Alright. Let's use E. We can use Bennett Q and heal everyone up right here. Yeah, we are basically trying to prolong the fight so that we can basically get to her weakened stage. But yeah, that's basically the main goal of this right here. Alright, let's use Navia Q so we can be prepared to get at least all her stacks in. Let's get Zhongli so we don't die right here. I am going to be using her E soon. But, yeah, Bennett is just here to basically give me the fanfare buffs. Alright, I think we're about to... Yeah, we're about to reach this. Alright, doing this. We're going to be popping her E twice. Yeah, so we don't take damage. You see there? We barely took any damage right there. But it's fine. We're going to be getting her stacks back anyway, thanks to Mr. Zhongli right here, who provides us with more than enough crystallized reactions that we can live off of. Alright. I think Navia's at 2 stacks. At 2 stacks. Alright, I think she's about to do her final thing where she summons the 4 pillars. Yeah, there he is. Alright. I'm going to be using Bennett's thing last. So yeah, alright. Ooh, let me use this. I think she'll be at 4 stacks now. Okay, now I just have to actually take down her shield. Easier said than done. Alright. This should be her 5th crystallized stack. Yeah, there it is. Alright, there we go. Okay. Now we have to pop these off. Let's use Zhongli, Navia Q. I think this will be at her max stack. There we go, 477k right there, as you see there. That was with Furina max stacks, with Bennett Q on the floor, with Zhongli's shield, with Tenacity of the Millilith, and we also have Navia with max shrapnel stacks. That is the best damage I could possibly get with her with level 8 talent. So yeah, there we go. Of course, with her actual artifact set, she's able to be doing more damage. And also, if Navia is at level 10 talent, of course she'll be able to do more damage. But yeah, and see there, really high numbers. So yeah, she's insane. She's actually insane. So yeah, well, anyways, now it's time to actually go over my overview and final thoughts. So, well, let's just cut to that. So here we have the President, Leader, Commander-in-Chief, Executive Director, and Boss of the Spina di Rosula, Navia. So yeah, as always with the overview and final thoughts, I'm gonna be going over her talents, her constellations, and then of course, well, as the segment implies, give my final thoughts and overview of the character. So without any further ado, let's just get this started. So her talents: her normal attack, Blunt Refusal, performs 4 consecutive strikes. Of course, if you hold down the button, you can basically deal AoE, well, AoE in quotes, damage, since she just spins around in a circle. Her plunging attack, of course, is just your typical plunging attack, basically dealing AoE damage. Her E is really unique, and also it is the bread and butter of Navia. So when you use her E, you basically deal big geo damage. But if you want to increase her geo damage output on her E, you have to collect crystal shrapnel. And the only way to collect crystal shrapnel is if you do a geo reaction on Pyro, Electro, Hydro, or Cryo. If you do it on all 4 of those elements, you get crystal shrapnel stacks based on how much crystallized reactions you get. The more crystallized reactions you get, the higher your damage will become. Of course, you can only get 6 stacks, as I mentioned before. Every time I always use Navia, I mention the stacks on her E. The more stacks she has, of course, the higher damage she does. So, yeah. If you use her E, her stacks will get consumed, meaning that you have to get more stacks again. But it's not that hard to get her crystallized reactions in general, because getting these is easily handleable, gettable. So yeah, thanks to her Q. But yeah, that's basically her tap E. Her hold E is basically the same thing, except when you hold her E, you collect nearby elemental crystallized reaction shards, meaning that it'll be easier for you to obtain instead of just running around the field trying to grab them. You can actually just hold her E and you consume all the crystallized reactions, which is really nice. So yeah. And her E is Usia reaction. So yeah, keep that in mind when you use her E. It is an Usia reaction attack. So yeah. Her burst just does AoE geo damage, but it actually auto targets the enemy. So when you use a Q on, let's say, one enemy, those cannon shots will actually target that said one enemy, which is pretty nice. It's not random. So yeah, you're basically going to consistently get your crystallized stacks. So yeah. But every time a cannon hits the opponent, you get 1 crystal shrapnel. So yeah, you want to use your Q and then her E, unless there is a very specific circumstance where you have to use her E before you use her Q. But mainly you want to use her Q first and then hold her E down to get the crystallized reactions, and then tap E, and then get your crystallized reactions again, tap E, and then use Q. Yeah, it's an endless cycle of Q, E, Q, E, Q, E. So yeah, but keep in mind that it triggers once every 2.4 seconds, so you probably have to wait a while until you get your next shrapnel stack. But yeah, mainly her Q is there to give her more shrapnel stacks so that your E can be able to do more damage. So yeah. So here is her passive talent right here. Undisclosed distribution of channels. So after using ceremonial crystal shot, the damage dealt by her normal charge attacks will be converted to geo damage, and it'll also be increased by 40%. So yeah, so her E, ceremonial crystal shot, will basically deal more damage. Yeah, basically. And also you're able to get Geo Infusion, which is pretty nice. It means that you can basically get more crystallized reactions. So yeah, not only as Sunlit Sky Singing Salute gives you more crystal shrapnel stacks, but this could potentially give you more crystal shrapnel stacks because, well, her normal attacks become infused by Geo, and it gets increased by 40%, which is really good. It's actually really good. So yeah, Navia can create her own crystallized reactions and also increase the damage of her ceremonial crystal shot as well on top of that, which is really nice. Her next passive talent is Mutual Assistance Network. So for each Pyro, Electro, Cryo, or Hydro, basically all the elements that can create crystallized reactions, party member on her team, you get 20% increased attack, and it can stack up to 2 times. So, if you have 2 of those elements on a team, you get 40% attack. On top of the Pyro Resonance, that is 65% attack. Yeah, busted. So yeah, really, really good. And it's for each member. Yeah, for each member. It doesn't specifically say only 1 per element. It's for each member. So yeah, it's really, really good, actually. So yeah, you mainly want to run her on a mixed elemental comp so that you can basically get more attack buffs. But yeah, her scaling is ridiculous. Yeah, it's really ridiculous. Yeah. And then her overall talent is Painstaking Transaction, which basically gives her 25% more rewards on a Fontaine expedition. So yeah, this is our very first expedition passive talent on Fontaine characters, which is really, really nice. Yeah, Navia's kit is really good. Constellations are basically the same thing. It basically tailors to her dealing more damage, as you see right here. So, on her C1, which is A Lady rules for keeping a courteous distance, each crystal shrapnel stack will basically restore energy and decrease the cooldown of her Q, as the sunlit skies singing salute, by 1 second. So, you can get up to 9 energy, and the cooldown could be decreased by up to 3 seconds. So yeah, this basically tailors to her Q, meaning that you're able to get more shrapnel stacks. Yeah, that's mainly all her constellations. It ties back to her E. Her C2 will basically increase the amount of crit rate that your E gets per shrapnel you get. So yeah, this basically helps her get more consistent crits in. So yeah, if you have issues in critting with Navia, C2 is the way to go. But if you properly level up your Navia, you don't really need this, which is why I say that C0 Navia is still really good. You don't need C2, but C2 is there just to basically help you out. Also, not only do you get more increased crit rate, also, you get 1 more cannon fire shot on her Q. So yeah, basically, you can get more of those shrapnel stacks, which is really nice. It means more geo damage for you. As for her Constellation 3, Businesswoman's Broad Vision, you get Ceremonial Crystal Shot by 3 levels, which is her E, which is really nice. It helps with the President's Pursuit of Victory with her crit rate. Yeah, basically, you're just going to be doing a lot of damage. Again, all her constellations tied to her E. So yeah. Her constellation 4, the Oathsworn Never Capitulate, which is basically when her Q hits an opponent, the Geo Res gets decreased by 20%. Yes, this means that, again, her E does more damage. Yeah, no surprise. Her Constellation 5, which is Negotiators Resolute Negotiations, her Q gets increased by 3 levels. So yeah, your Q just does more damage. And her C6 is the Flexible Finesse of the Spina's President. So when you get more than 3 stacks on Crystal Shrapnel, which is pretty easy to get, your first 3 beyond the 3 Crystal Shrapnel stacks will basically increase the crit damage of your E by 45%. It is really, really, really broken. Also, you get the 3 back beyond the first 3. So, if you have 4 Crystal Shrapnel stacks, use her E, you get 1 back. Yeah. Same thing, vice versa. If you get 6, you get 3 back. It's really good. And, well, you get crit damage, so you're going to be doing more damage. So yeah, all your constellations are tied to her E. If you want her to do mega massive geo damage, that is the way to go. Get her C6. But yeah, as for the final thoughts on Navia, she is the best geo damage dealer in the game. Yeah, sorry Ito fans, Navia exists now, and, well, you already saw how much damage she does. It's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. She's a Gunbrella goddess. She's a Gunbrella goddess. She does a ton of geo damage. Literally the best geo DPS in the entire game. Yeah, I'm not joking. That damage is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Obviously not better than DPSs like Nuvolette or like I'll Hate Them, who have basically way better teams than Navia. But Navia is still really, really good. Like, actually really, really good. I have 2 words to say. GODBRELLA Goddess. So yeah, that is Navia, the president of the Spina di Rosula. Well, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that showcase video. And again, Happy New Year, Happy New Decade. So, if you guys enjoyed this showcase video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Any amount of support is greatly appreciated. Again, thank you guys so much for all the support. I can't thank you guys enough for all the support. So, if you guys want me to continue to do more videos, be sure to support me. Leave a like and subscribe. Also, if you do subscribe to the channel, be sure to turn on the notification bell to not miss out on a upload that I do on the channel. Since my upload schedule is pretty much inconsistent, having that notification bell basically notifies you as to what videos I upload in the future. So yeah, basically, you will be in the know. Yeah. Also, comment down below, what do you think of Navia? You think she's good? You think she's bad? You think she's busted as crap? Or you think I'm over-exaggerating? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, did you get Navia? Did you not? Also, let me know in the comments down below. Anything about Navia, I will answer to. So yeah, leave your comments down below. And as always, thank you guys for watching this Navia showcase video. And I'll see you guys in the next Genshin video.